Hey everybody, Mah-Dry-Bread here with another TAD financial update. You guys seem to be really enjoying the past few TAD videos. I was actually kind of surprised that usually when I make a video and then it's like a few days old, people basically stop watching it. It doesn't really accumulate any more views than that. But no, I check the view counts on those TAD ones like every single day, and it seems like people really enjoy watching them. So it's Monday again. I just got paid by TAD again because they pay me every Monday, so I have here the email from them. So I thought I would update you guys. This week it is $164 American, which is down about $50, I think, from last month, which I basically expected. I think I was saying the whole time, basically, like there's going to be a drop off at some point. So the drop off was the full second week, I guess. But I thought I'd share with you some interesting statistics about it. First of all, before I get into the statistics I have here, I did kind of expect the drop-off to happen decently early, because with how little I get to stream and stuff, like, last week, I think I streamed once, whereas the week where I had the TAD, when I first got TAD out and I said, I made a lot of money in the first 2 days, when that came out, like, that was kind of the initial buzz, and I got to stream like 3 times that week, I think. Like, I really had a lot of opportunity, so I was reminding people of TAD a lot, so it's kind of staying fresh in everyone's mind. And also, I think the advertisements that month were worth more than the advertisements... Or sorry, that... I keep saying month because I'm used to how it is on YouTube. The advertisements that week, I think, were better than the advertisements this week, because the ad views, like the number of ads clicked, is not very different, and yet it's less money, which usually means the advertisements were worth less. Although it's still worth like 50 times more than YouTube. So yeah, I basically expected a drop-off. I'm honestly surprised the drop-off was not larger, so thank you everybody who's been using TAD. I've been getting a lot of really nice comments and tweets by people just saying like, hey, I was using TAD today while watching your videos, and I... Thank you. I don't know what else I can say, really. Like, I'm just surprised people want to use it, and I'm happy it is helping so much. So the statistics, for those of you who are interested in that, for the number of funders, TAD funders, that's what the TAD report thing calls you guys. Like, you're a TAD funder if you went on my TAD page and watched at least one advertisement. It said that 201 separate people logged in the last week, which is really cool because the week before was 230 people. So that's only 29 more people the previous week. And that was the week where I talked about it a lot, and then this week I didn't talk about much, which tells me the vast majority of you guys who are using it probably stayed to keep using it. Like, I'm sure some of these 201 weren't using the week before. But, you know, it seems like it has a pretty high retention rate of people use it once and then they keep going back to use it a week later, which is surprising. I thought it would have an enormous drop-off for that. Where was I on here? There we go. Number of ads viewed this week, 4,371. I think that's like 500 advertisements shorter than last week. I believe about 500 shorter. And remember, each advertisement is worth a varying amount of TAD points. So, like, you don't know those 500 that were viewed last week and weren't viewed this week. You know, it's a real mixed bag on how much that 500 is actually worth, because, like, were most of the ones that were seen last week that are the extra 500 worth a lot or worth a little? You never really know, because the pricing varies per each one. The average ads viewed per funder, this means, like, what's the average users sitting? How many ads do they watch in an average sitting? Or at least, not necessarily in one sitting, but one funder per week, which is 21 and a half. That's incredibly impressive. Like, you would think it would just be like a ton of people used it and watched like 3 ads each. No, it's a small focused group used it, but watched a lot of ads, like 21. That's 4 different sessions in a week, because it loads up 5. You can close it and reopen it to just get more on the same day, but that means that yeah, your average person did 4 whole sittings of TAD advertisements a week, which is a lot of money for me. That's more than I make in an hour. That's more than I make in a day in most cases, actually. Yeah. Okay, I want to put this into perspective for you guys. And I guess like you could do the math on your own and figure this out because it's, I've already told you it's a thousand TAD points gets me $1 American. But you guys, like, you get those little TAD points on the advertisements. It's usually around 40 or 50. Sometimes you see it as high as 80. I think someone said they even saw 91. Between all 201 of you who were watching all those TAD advertisements, you watched or you generated for me 164,920 of those little TAD points. And remember, each one of those, 1,000 of those are worth $1. So that comes out to $164.92. Oh, and apparently my all-time heart count, which is the people who like favorite me to have me on their application thing, is 510. And I mean, if you compare that to YouTube, where like if you were to say that's your subscribers and my number of funders this week is kind of like my view count on a daily video, if you were to compare it that way and look at it that way, which it's a little similar to, hey, if you're a 510 subscriber channel and you're getting 201 views on your video when it comes out, that's really good. Usually when you make, if you make a lot of videos often, you're aiming to get at least 10% of your subscriber count watching, in which I'm like 1.5%. My channel's terrible for that, but, that's really, really good. That's like that's more than 35%, I think, of the people who have hearted me on TAD. I don't know what else to call it. Followed me on TAD, I'll call it that. More than 35% of you guys have continued to use it, which kind of blows my mind. So yeah, that money will be thrown into my account later today. Usually they only take like 3 hours after the financial report to actually send it to my account. So it's not, again, like some people worried, like, is this scamming? Like, are they going to not actually send you the money? And no, they've always sent me the money on time. In fact, it's astonishing to me that they send it to me every single week, considering most of these online things, Hitbox, YouTube, Patreon, you get paid once a month. You get one check a month. So getting a weekly payment like this is really nice because, like, if an emergency comes up, I don't need to wait as long to know that I have at least a bit of money coming in. And honestly, I would love to say, like, oh, I get so much money from the other jobs that my weekly TAD things, like, it only adds up grand total over a month to the same as the other ones. No, I mean, like, a weekly TAD paycheck is usually more than I get from, like, the other things. Like, $164.92. I think that's more money. That's about the same amount of money I got for January on YouTube, I think. I'm ballparking it. You're not allowed to say your exact income on YouTube. But yeah, that's in the ballpark. January is the lowest paying month of the year for YouTube because the advertisements suck for January. But still, that's 30 days compared to the 7 it took for this TAD check to come in. So yeah, thank you everybody who's been using TAD. It's the support has been overwhelming, especially because I haven't said this on the show yet because it hasn't been a sure thing. But my fiance Fatima just got a new job, and we're looking like it might be good. It might be a decent salary job. Maybe that extra income would help too. But I didn't want to announce anything because we didn't know how it was going to go yet. She hadn't even done. I just got a text from her actually. She hadn't even done a week of it yet, and she wasn't. The job was kind of feeling weird. Let me just. Okay. All right, sorry. I was just reading that because she's working at a new job and she might actually be leaving that job today. She's been at the job for a week and it seems like they're just woefully incompetent and they're kind of underpaying her. I was just checking the text to see if she actually walked out because, like, she said that she's going into work today. She's talking to her boss, and if shit isn't resolved, then she's probably going to walk out and go back to Starbucks as a barista because at least they treated her well there. For anyone wondering, the job that she has just gone to, she was hired as a secretary for a very small independent law firm, which you would think would pay great, but it doesn't. It's like I think she was told she was going to get more, but she actually is getting something like 29K Canadian, which is not a ton, and she gets no benefits, and she has to spend $400 commuting every month on train to get there. and she often has to work quite a bit of overtime and she doesn't get paid overtime. It's a shit job. And they have her doing non-secretarial shit. They have her doing a lot of stuff that's like a legal aids job, which should be getting paid $50K a year, and she is very much not being paid $50K a year. And just the whole thing ended up being really sketchy and shitty. So she's thinking of leaving if she can't work things out with her boss today, but her boss didn't show up to fucking work today. So looks like she's probably not going to be working there for another week. So probably back to being a barista at Starbucks. So yeah, for anyone who's curious about that, I didn't talk about it much before because, like, again, we didn't know if it would work out, and it's looking like it's not going to work out. I'm not going to say the name of the law firm because I don't want to be liable for all of that bullshit. You wouldn't know the name of it anyway. It's a tiny little independent real estate law office. Anyway, I have another tab here. For anyone who's wondering, because I know people usually wonder about the exchange rate because they know that the Canadian dollar is usually roughly 2/3 of the American dollar in value. So like ours is a lot weaker, which is good because I get paid American, so the exchange rate's at least good for me. 164 US dollars and 92 cents is $218.80 Canadian. Right now, at the time of this video, it fluctuates from week to week by a few cents. Yeah, so that's how much I made from TAD this week. I'm going to try and keep you guys up to date. I just so happened to get a little bit of time this Monday to do this video, so I can't promise like every Monday I'm going to have one of these. I just want to remind you that TAD is in the description. Again, it's just a phone and tablet application for Android and iPhones and stuff, and iPads, where you can watch advertisements, and I get paid for it way better than YouTube advertisements. And that your help on that really, really helps, especially considering Fatima might be a barista again real soon, so that job may have not worked out. But if the TAD income keeps going up, we might be able to get a 2-bedroom apartment anyway. So if we get a 2-bedroom apartment, that means that, what am I trying to say? We can make one of the bedrooms into my recording studio, and I can get back to streaming and recording for you guys every single day. And for just a tiny little vlog update, today is March 14th, 2006, which means that it's 1 week away from it's a little less than 1 week away. It's 6 days away from me having lived in this one room for 11 months, for anyone keeping track, because it was April 20th that, let me just double check. Yeah, it was April 20th that we left and moved in here. So it's been almost a year. Don't think I really have any other updates for you guys. I wish I could tell you the next time I'm streaming, but I honestly don't know. Yeah, I don't really have any more updates, so thank you everybody for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.